What's up with Manchester City? Manchester City have fewer points after 21 games than in each of their last two seasons. City have lost 3 straight away games and Gary Neville says, something is not right. Second in the table with 45 points from 21 games is by no means a bad season. But such are the standards Manchester City have set in recent years, it can be seen as a worry. Pep Guardiola's side are 8 points worse off than last season's total after 21 games. In fact, this is their third lowest points tally at this stage of the season under the Spanish manager. The 2 campaigns where they ended up with fewer points saw them fail to win the league. The recent context of City's season is not much better. 3 consecutive away defeats in all competitions, the first time that has happened since Guardiola's first season in October 2016. They have also failed to win 3 out of their last 6 Premier League games. If they are to catch Arsenal at the top of the Premier League, City need to start getting a move on. Something isn't right at Man City, said Gary Neville during Sunday's 1-0 defeat to Tottenham. It just feels a little bit strange at the moment. That comment was in relation to the swift departure of once influential defender Joao Cancelo on loan to Bayern Munich, alongside the open space Spurs were granted, and the mystery of why City are now struggling to get the ball to Erling Haaland. So how has the Premier League's most consistent team in recent years become unreliable on the pitch, all of a sudden? What is happening with Haaland? Haaland has perhaps the most credit in the bank out of any current top-flight player after 25 goals in 20 Premier League matches so far this season. But the last few weeks have led to some worrying signs for the Norwegian forward as City approach a vital part of their season. Haaland's blank against Spurs means he has just 2 goals in his last 8 away matches in all competitions, and he is without a goal in his 4 league matches away at Big Six clubs. Yet a disappointing outing at Tottenham brought about the worst statistics of the lot. 0 shots, 0 touches in the penalty box, the first time he has registered both those stats in the Premier League. City's inability to get the ball to their star striker has been a concern in recent weeks. His 4 lowest game totals for being targeted by a teammate following an off-the-ball run have come in his last 4 league games. It is not through a lack of trying on the striker's part. Haaland has made the second highest number of off-the-ball runs in the Premier League this season. But, of those, he has only been targeted 29% of the time. It is the 3rd lowest tally out of the top 10 players for total runs in the league this season. Compare that figure of 29% to Miguel Almiron, the second highest goal scorer in the same category, who has been targeted 41% of the time by his Newcastle teammates when he is on the move. City lacking in wider areas. Guardiola's City have carried on many aspects of their game from their previous successful seasons. The tempo and speed of their passing is identical, from a statistical point of view, to last season, while their similar passing permitted per defensive action, PPDA, figures imply their press is working at its usual levels. But one area where City are slightly weaker compared to previous seasons is in the wide areas, particularly the front 3. This season, Riyad Mahrez and Jack Grealish have been the go-to figures on the right and left respectively, following the summer departures of Gabriel Jesus and Raheem Sterling. City have been prolific in the wider areas since Guardiola arrived at the club in the summer of 2016. Crosses would often have been low and towards the cutback zone, which became a trademark move in the team's tactics. But this season, the lesser impact of Mahrez and Grealish in the wider zones have been clear to see. Compared to Sterling's campaign at City last season, Grealish's take-on attempted and completed numbers are significantly down, as are Mahrez's dribbling and crossing numbers from the previous season. Jesus and Sterling both benefited from balls played in behind defenses, a move Mahrez and Grealish have only benefited from in small batches this season. They have lost something with Sterling and Jesus, said Neville at the weekend. The 2 wide players, they did make those diagonal penetrative runs in between fullback and centre-back. Jack Grealish and Riyad Mahrez can stay wide, so they have lost a bit of goal threat. City's defense and their ability to shut out opponents has normally been the efficient starting point that sends them on to victory. But City have looked not only uneasy at the back, but also very open in midfield this season. The amount of times they got counter-attacked on today and got broken through, the amount of space they gave up in midfield, that doesn't happen, said Neville after the loss at Spurs. They were having to charge back on their own goal, and that's because they are just not right. It is a real worry, because it undermines your performance when you got counter-attacked against. And then City's back four were unable to deal with it either. Guardiola's side have shipped 21 goals in 21 games this season. Only twice have City conceded more than 20 goals after 21 games since Guardiola took over, the Spaniards' first season in 2016-17 and in the 2019-20 campaign. Both times saw the title move away from the Etihad Stadium. Part of the reasoning why City have looked more uneasy at the back is due to a relatively extensive overhaul of the back line this season. John Stones and Ruben Dias have both had month-long injuries, while Aymeric Laporte began this term in recovery from knee surgery. Meanwhile, there has also been Manuel Akanji's arrival, Cancelo's drop in form which led to his departure, the emergence of Rico Lewis and a greater trust in Nathan Ake, who has already made more Premier League appearances this season than in his previous two City campaigns. And Guardiola's regular changing of his back line is a necessity, in the manager's mind. I would love to have the same back four, but they cannot handle it. The players we have cannot handle every 3 days of being fit. Other teams might be able to, but we can't, Guardiola said in October. Nathan can't, Ruben last season, Aymeric came back from a big injury, so it's important for us everyone can play and everyone can perform well. We need to be ready to fight until the end, otherwise it will be so difficult. It could explain why City have conceded more goals per game, allowed more shots and a higher expected goals against tally against them, plus given up 4 times as many points from winning positions compared to last term. You have just watched a World Wonder product. Let us know what you suppose by opining below. If you are interested in this video, hit the like and subscribe to catch the next videos. I'll see you there.